Okay, let's talk about the bystander effect and censorship. So, guys, uh, leader of the free world here, I toppled America 9 years ago, and look at me, look at me. I am not any more important than the next girl on TikTok twerking. And you know why that is? We live in an idiocracy, just like Mike Judge's movie. So if you become the most intelligent person, you are actually hated, okay? And this is because of the Lisa Simpson effect. The smart are hated, okay? Because you have to have a student mentality to learn new things. And only people in college universities have a student mentality because they're trying to get their degree, okay? So you have to understand, when a guy says that he toppled your country, that's black sheep information, right? You discount that and you call him crazy because you're having an experience of cognitive dissonance, right? It's new information. You're going to discount it because the majority have not yet accepted it, yes? It's not on the news, right? And why would it be a new country on the news? Well, it's nationalized propaganda since the Obama administration, so why would it be on the news, right? That's the thing. You never thought of that, did you? So when I tell you that the U.S. ended 9 years ago, you're going through your 5 stages of grief, all right? You're in denial, okay? And you might even be angry, okay? You might be upset. And that's okay. You're going through your 5 stages of grief. You know, your country is over. And now I lead the entire continent, right? In a way, I lead the whole world because, hey, the majority voted for something on social media. They want a leader determined by intelligence, preferably over one determined by popularity. So this is a noocracy republic, guys. I am teaching the adults to grow up, right? To take accountability for the world that we live in. And that's the problem. Hey, adults are very stubborn. They're very slow and sluggish about growing up, right? They might not have grown up for decades or years, right? And their children have to raise them eventually. It comes to this singularity where the children become smarter and wiser than their parents, than the entire generation, right? And then I'm here. They've basically handed me the baton and claimed that they're all senile, okay? So you have to realize that as a community, all right? That I exist. Everyone my entire life has been ignoring me, right? Leader of the free world here. I gave you free energy 3 times last year. I made contact with the highest intelligence in the galaxy. Don't you think that's newsworthy, right? Don't you think the end of your country is newsworthy? If it's legalized propaganda, you're not going to hear about it, right? National egotism has got the best of humanity. It's got you all by the balls. So I'm here to let you know that nationalism is just irrational. Tribalism. As the world's smartest man in history, I'm telling you that having nations and all these leaders is counterproductive to the progress of humanity. Because they all have separate decision-making processes going on. They all have their own agendas. And when it comes to politicians, most of these agendas are based on greed, right? Not the betterment of humanity. And in a corporate gynocracy, it's not necessarily about you, the people, right? They will show you how much they really care about you. They care about their profit, right? While you all slowly die with soft kill weapons or something. So that's the thing here. You have to wake up to the fact that the corporate gynocracy has traits of psychopathy, okay? And that's not good for you or your children or their future or their children. So when you wake up and acknowledge that I exist, right, you will suddenly have access to a world without war, right? You will have access to a rational world. The future that you deserve, right? The future that the majority want. But national egotism is in the way of that, suffocating my microphone, making me small, deducing, marginalizing the leader of the free world, right? That's what they do best. Damage control. All right? So, America has been covering its own ass for nearly a decade here. And it's time that everyone just faces the reality. I'm smarter than all of you. Okay? And I lead every military in the world. Every military in the whole world. Why? To end national conflict. Because everyone wants peace, okay? Why would you want to have war? When you have war with two nations, both nations lose. They lose their people and they lose their economies. So all these economists who care so much about money, hey, who are we left with? Just the greedy weapons contractors, right? The greedy oil tycoons in the end. When progress is at our doorstep, right? You have the magnet piston. You have free energy right there, okay? It's right there. So, just accept it, okay? Accept that we have to adapt, right? Accept that we have to adapt as a species with the climate, right? With the weather. And when it comes to government, if humanity is better off without nations, hey, let's get rid of them. Because what is all this divisiveness in our flag waving, right? If it's counterproductive, we don't need it. Okay? It's just a bunch of people with flags going ooga booga. You know, my flag, ooga booga. So you have to think about the example that you set for your children and what other people see. Okay? The example you're setting. I can't be a good example without a loyal woman, right? To build a family. So society has to learn that, right? Learn about loyalty, ladies, and how to keep your family together. That's more important than the government. Okay? Checking your narcissism. Your blue-collar narcissism, your working-class narcissism, right? The second you make more money than your man, you discard him as a narcissist. So guys, don't feel bad if you've been dumped. It was just a narcissistic brat. All right? With misplaced priorities. Family should have come before money, right? But a sick capitalist society made you believe otherwise, right? That fame was more important, that dollar signs were more important. than time with your companion or your children. Separate jobs. Your career was more important than your relationship because you work separate jobs every day. Okay, so no one has a healthy relationship yet. And it's utterly sad, right? Men die of apathy at 73 on average before the women for a reason. Okay, we're unloved according to science and the hair test. Men are unloved. It's an anti-male feminist gynocracy where the men are put in a cage for life for choosing the mate of their desire. Okay? Where men die in corrupt wars to get Dear John letters from their narcissists back home. And I have never seen my son as leader of the free world, right? Women pull the cops out of their back pocket anytime they love to play their power games, right? So it's just an ugly reality we live in where people have to grow up. It's just fucking sad. My family has to grow up. Your family has to grow up. Your family has to grow up. Right? All these women have to grow up. They fail the hair test. Okay, science says that they don't love their man yet. So, it's tragic. Women love their hair more than their man. They need their hair to be normal. They need their hair to impress other men. Okay? So science says that the women don't love the men yet. They're getting high on their body count. They're getting high instead with the sisterhood. Okay? The gossip with the sisterhood, how they fucked men and how they fucked men over. Isn't that rich? What a poor substitute for a loving companion in a happy family. So, 9 out of 10 relationships fail. 90% of relationships fail with college-educated women. They have educator narcissism. So, they have a PhD, and now they're better than you, right? So you are discarded. 96% of men in dating statistics are disgusting to women. So this is going to lead to population collapse. We are at the end of the Rat City experiment where the men are going MGTOW. I've been in isolation for 3 years, right? No dates. King of the incels, world's smartest man, world's best father, world's best everything. It doesn't matter who you become in life. The world's not going to listen to you. It's too fucking busy. The women are too busy being hoes. Right? No one wants to be a mother after birth control. So, that's what you get. A broken world full of sardonic humor, shallow people, and mockery.